Okay, listen, let's learn and then we can talk maybe. Okay, so the bottom of 214, we're in the middle of discussing over here the form in which the midas, the emotions, come from the mind, and although they have their own source, their own place in the soul. This is part of the discussion. And he gave us a mashal of a son and a student who develops a love to a father and a teacher, and vice versa. It's because of the understanding that both have, the son and the student, of how important and special their father and teacher is, because they teach them and they educate them, etc. And he gives the bottom of 214 going on to 215 another mashal. Oi kimoi eved melech kashra melech meitiv imoi umiskore veilov. You have the servant of a king who feels indebted to the king because the king, because he does so by bringing himself closer to the king. V'hainu, so mishpashit elov migdulas chesed hamelech shebezeh noil deho ava belev ho'evet el hamelech. Because the servant only feels the chesed of the king being extended to him, he reciprocates with a feeling of indebtedness to the king. Ubefrat, particularly, this is if and when the servant knows and understands the greatness of the melech, because not every servant can understand how great a king is. He just knows, okay, he feeds me and clothes me and keeps me. Okay, but what about a servant who not only benefits from the poel, from the practicality of the king, but who also understands the greatness, he understands it with his mind. Umikol mokom harihu miskorev elev shvalo ishim. And he understands that although he is only just but a servant, nevertheless the king extends himself to him. This heightens the love that the servant has to the king, and he wants to attach himself to the king. Why? Because he realizes, listen, this king should not really extend his chesed to me. I'm just a servant. I have nothing going for me, really. All I can do is follow. And the king doesn't look at that. The king says, I like you, and I want you, and I'm going to, be nice to you. And he gives him all kinds of presents, and he helps him. So the servant says, I see that you're such a special king, and I want to be close to you. This is all the notion of ava, love. Now he talks about yira, distance, fear. V'hayira hi mirochik. Yira, fear, comes when you feel so distant from a person. V'hainu, sheteva hayira hu, the nature of fear is she'oisa hakivutz ubitl banefesh. It makes within the soul a kivutz. You know what a kivutz means? Shriveling up. Shriveling up. In other words, the opposite of expansiveness. And it causes the nefesh to go into a position of bittul, of nullification. He stands specifically distant, and he's scared to approach. Where does this sensation come from? It comes from the feeling of distance and exaltation of the thing that is awesome. For example, Al derech moshel, take for example, hayira mahamelech, the fear that we have for a king. Mitzad haflaosoi v'reibemusoi, it's because of the king's separation and exaltation, shemereimem min ha'am u'muvdol mehem, because the king is exalted from the nation and separated from the nation. He's so much above the nation. There's a pasuk in Shmuel, it says, Mishichmoi v'mayla, from his shoulders and above, Gavoa mikol he is greater than all the other people of the nation. The HaMelech be'etzem, Chasidus explains this verse in the following way. The HaMelech be'etzem, that a king in his very essence and nature, transcends the nation, the people. It's not just a quantitative difference, it's a qualitative difference. And this qualitative difference impacts the nation, causing them to have a fear, a dread for the king. And the more the king is separated from them, exalted above them, by being in his chamber of chambers, in the palace of the king, the more he's not seen, Yoni, and the more he is in isolation, the more you'll have fear for the king. In other words, the unknown is a point of reverence. So too, he talks now about the fear for a teacher. Because of the teacher's exaltedness, he is way apart, separate from the student. Talmidei Chachamim, true Talmidei Chachamim, they truly need to be separate from the nation. They shouldn't be mixing much with the nation. That will add for the fear that the nation, that the students will have for the teacher. There needs to be a reverence and a respect. How is this reverence and respect is created? By him distancing himself from the people, and the people realizing he's in a category of his own. Says the Rebbe, all of the above is an example. Yuvim b'avodas elikis will be comprehended in our godly service, b'nefesh ha'adam, in our soul. Be'inyan bittul hanashamas lelikus be'amd lefana b'tfila. The bittul, Yoni, the sense of humility that the Jewish neshama has while it's davening. The kashem is boinem bereiv chazdei Hashem bereiv tuvimoi. When a person meditates, reflects on the thought that God has so much kindness for him and does so much good for him, and how God extends his abundance of kindness to all the worlds. We said it in Vayavarach David this morning. And you are sustained, enlivened the world, everything. The godly energy is given, is drawn, Yoni, into all the worlds. And if you reflect well, Yavin, you'll understand how in every item in the world there is an extension of godliness, and Hashem has providence over every detail. Umayrid kshamim, and Hashem is the one who makes rain come. Umatzmiach harim, and Hashem makes the mountains grow chotzi grass. Utfuas upeiris, and wheat and fruit. V'hakoil mikoyach ha'er eliki hashofeya ba'olam. It all comes from the godly energy that impacts, that's mashpia ba'olam, in the world. That's as far as the world is concerned, Hillel. Ubefrat, more specifically, Nishmas Yisrael, Jewish souls, the Jewish people, Shenikroyim Am Kiroivai, who are called a nation who is close to God. Bahatoiro mitzvahs, through Toiro mitzvahs. Shenitnu lanu, that was given to us specifically. Shezeu b'chinas koriv v'gilui oir panav yisborich. This means that Hashem is close and revealed to each and every one of us. The whole mitzvah hu gilui rotzina elyim. Every mitzvah is a revelation of Hashem's will. B'chinas pnimius ritzoynai. You hear that? It's not just external will, it's the face and the will of Hashem. As the Alter Rebbe says in chapters 38, 35, 37, and 38, so I'm thinking about this. The Rebbe is saying here, the previous Rebbe, you need to be misbainin. You have to think about all this, reflect and meditate. Bahamokas hadas, with the depth of your mind, shemargish bahatoy v'chesed she'osa, that you feel the good and the chesed that's done, v'oisa Hashem itonu, that Hashem does with us, b'chol eis u'v'chol rega, b'chol prat u'prat, every single minute and every single moment, Hashem does this kindness for us. Hein mitzad chitzayis ha'olam, be it with the external of the world, vehein hakeruv hapnimi b'torah mitzvahs, and be it with the closeness of God vis-a-vis Torah mitzvahs. Next page, 216. This will. Okay, are we learning or moving to having chairs? What are we doing?
Oh, here you move. He told me I gotta move.
We just sit. It's normal. What's the problem? What is the problem here?
Let me sit there.
It's crazy. It's a police station.
It's a musical interlude.
Police station, that way.
That was over there. Right at the end. This was over there.
We'll put everything back exactly as it was.
Ruven, can we do this later? I want to finish the shir without disruptions.
What shit?
I'm giving a shir now, and this is disruptive.
Go ahead and continue, Rabbi. We're okay now.
Okay? You tell Ron, and I told him, we pay for this, and he has no right mixing it. He should stick his note out.
Okay.
Rabbi, you sent an email to Lord, which wasn't nice, and he wasn't so happy.
I don't care. He has no right disturbing.
Okay, let's please speak to the rabbi privately about that issue. It's not an issue.
Okay. So what we'll learn, we're right now the bottom, going on to 216. This feeling, he's saying like this meditation, this contemplation, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does kindness for each and every one of us. What this means is that every person, every day, when he says in Vayevarech David, right, we say, V'ata mechayes kulam, you Hashem gives life for all of us. Every person needs to think, how does Hashem give life to us? How? And you have to pinpoint it. You have to break it down. You know, the fact that I didn't, let's say I had little to eat yesterday and I have more to eat today. Wow, Hashem, thank you very much. The fact that another day went by and I was able to go out and to daven and to be and to be healthy, I'm so thankful to you, Hashem. So this is what he's saying here. Let's continue. As we say, we say this in Geshem when we have the tefillah, the prayer for rain. Remember, Father, remember the Father, our Father. I will be drawn, we will be drawn after you, kamayim, like water. And we know the koyi al Avram ohavai. This refers to Avram, my beloved. You know, the Hashem calls Avram ohavi. Shahoya bebchinas ava. So when we say, Moshe, zechor of nimshach acharecho kamayim, remember the Father, and we're drawn after him like water, it refers to ava, to love. Vayidei, they were on top of 216 Shmuel. Vayidei ze nimshich acharei Hashem b'dveikus nifla. And this causes us to be drawn to Hashem with a tremendous dveikus, ubefrat, and specifically kishemizbeinin bigdulas ho'erin sov, when a person meditates on the greatness and infinity of Hashem. How? To his greatness no one can search and find. And Hashem Yoni fills all worlds. And V'sayvev kol almim, and he encompasses all worlds. V'neida mizeir HaKodesh, it's known based on the Holy Zohar, V'horizal and the Arizal, Ribuy HaYecholos V'ilamos Adei Misbah, how many chambers and worlds ad infinitum there are. Uv'chol Eilam V'heichol, and in every world, in every chamber, Ribuy Rivovis Malachim, there are myriads upon myriads of angels, Le'ein Ketz V'tachos ad infinitum. U'kamayim B'Rabbeinu Zal, and as the sages say, Ksiv, it says, Hayesh Mispar Likdudav, are there, can you count his groups? Uksiv, and it says, Elef Alofim, thousands of thousands, 10,000s, Yisham Shuni, or Revivin Kodmui, serve me, and thousands preface me. In other words, there's tremendous amount of godly angelic angels. So how can you understand Hashem? He's so awesome. He's so vast. Umeshani, and it answers, Elef Alufim Mispagdud Echot. That the truth is, these thousands upon thousands of groups are just Gdud Echad, one group. Avalik Dudav, God's real amount of groups, Ein Mispar, there is no number. The Kulam Kamei Kilo Choshev Mamish, and all of them stand before Hashem as though they are naught. Kilo. Kilo doesn't mean low. Ke. Like naught. Uvetel and b'mitzias mamish, and they're all nullified in existence before God. Kibitul dibur echad, like the nullification of one statement. Mamish, in actuality, legabe mahus nefesh hamadaberes, in comparison to the essence and of speech within the soul, the atzma, if you compare the statement, one statement, in comparison to the way it is in thought, or in comparison to the will and desire of the heart, it's nothing, it's bottled, it's nullified. And therefore, we continue in the Birchas Krishma. The Kulam Shoalim, and everyone asks, Ayeh, who is the everyone? The Malachim. Ayeh Mikoim Kvoidoi, where is your place of respect and holiness, sanctity, honor? Ve'oinim, and they answer, Molei Chol Ha'aretz Kvoidoi. You know where our where Hashem's place is? All over. Meloi. Chol ha'aretz. Hashem fills the entire earth. Kvaida is his glory. Hein Yisrael Amoy. This is a reference to the Jewish people. Because Hashem forsake, he left the upper worlds and the lower worlds. And he didn't choose all of them. He could have made a choice, Moshe, that he wants the angels, and he wants this group, and he wants that group. He didn't do that. Kiyim bi Yisrael Amay. Who did he choose? The Jews, the Yidden. Remember, this is a Maamar on Pesach. And he took out the Yidden, took out our ancestors, Mitzrayim, the shamefulness of the earth. Mokim Hazum of a place of schmutz and contamination. And he took us out, Leah Yedei Malach, this is all from the Haggadah, we say it in Haggadah too. He didn't do it through an angel, and not through a messenger, but rather God himself, in his very essence, Yorat Lisham. He descended to Mitzrayim. As it's written, I descend to save him. In order to bring them close with a closeness and a true unity. By binding their souls together with God. You hear that? God like kissed us. He loved us. He kissed us. Peh lepeh, mouth to mouth. Lidvar Hashem zu halacha. How is it considered kissing us face, mouth to mouth, lip to lip? It's through halacha, the words of Hashem. When you learn Jewish law, it's like you're being kissed by Hashem and you're kissing Hashem. The Zohar says this means the cleaving, the Dveikus of spirit to spirit. This Shmuel is not through halacha, emphasizing the halacha part, but it's hasagas ha-Torah, it's the comprehending of Torah, the ideas of the kulechad mamish. Because when you know and understand Torah, you're one with Hashem's will and wisdom. Because in Hashem's Torah is kulechad, Hashem is there. So that's the idea of what? Of the Neshikin and Izdapkus. Now he says, V'gam b'bchinas chibuk. Chibuk is hug. What does it mean to hug Hashem? And Hashem hugs us. What does that mean? The symbolism of chibuk, says the Rebbe. Hu kiyim ha-mitzvahs. So now we're going away from the learning the halacha and understanding Torah, and we're going to doing the mitzvah, doing mitzvahs. Mitzvahs is the bear hug. Who Maisis Machivarim, doing the 248 mitzvahs, 248 lips. The Ramach Pikudim Neinamochivar and the Malka. 248 mitzvahs correspond to the 248 limbs of the king. His body in the zoo. Through this meditation, Tikdalo Ava Beyeser says, the love will become greater. V'tislayed nafshei, v'tislayed nafshei, and the soul will become faflaket. Faflaket means all flamed up. V'yislabish beruach nediva, and it will be invested in a generous heart. Lihisnadev, lahoniach, v'laziv, kol asher lo meneged. You'll be so animated, Yoni, and so flamed up, and so passionate that you will forsake and you will leave anything that is in opposition to Hashem's plan and Hashem's will. And you'll be left with V'rak l'dovke b'yizbarich. You'll be left with this sensation of cleaving to Hashem, v'likol b'oirei, and including yourself in Hashem's life. B'dveiko v'chsheko b'kiyum ha-Torah mitzvahs, with a dveikus and a cheshek and a yearning and a longing, the b'kiyum ha-Torah mitzvahs. Kitzer, Yevayim. In this chapter, we explained the Mitzrayim. The word Mitzrayim ba'avoda, when it comes to in serving Hashem, what is it referred to in our own soul, in our own behavior? Who meitzar me? It means the constraint of me. Me refers to bina, right? The aim hamidos, which is the mother of the emotions. Midaisehem shel haktanim ugdel mufisichlam. We also spoke about, infant type of a cotton's type of midos behavior. Ugdelim lefisichlam, and the adult, their midos is based on seichel. Seichel meiris hamidos, top of 217. Seichel impacts the midos. Ke'oir hamegala oitzer, like a light that illuminates a treasure. Right? He said earlier that you can have a treasure right in your backyard or in your house, but if it's dark and dingy, you don't go down there and you don't look for it. Now comes Pesach, you have to clean up. You go to places where you don't go throughout the year, but the treasure could be right there. So Seichel is the or, is the light that lights up the darkness, because it gives you understanding. You just don't do it robotically, you understand what you're doing. Seichel ha-nefesh abamis binyoni olam. Now you have two types of seichel. You have the seichel of the animal drive of the nefesh abamis, which illuminates worldly matters. Basically, it justifies worldly behavior. The seichel of the nefesh abamis is the justification, the intellectual justification for the animal tendencies. Seichel the nefesh. Yes.
Just like the seichel of the nefesh elokis excites you about godliness, because the seichel of the nefesh abamis gets the person all worked up about kashmir.
Right. Very good. Right. So he says seichel the nefesh elokis. Now he's talking about the seichel nefesh elokis, like you just mentioned before, Shmuel. Binyoni asagas elikus excites a person to comprehend God. I'm excited. I understand Hashem creates the world. He vivifies the world. It's constant creation, and etc. And I'm excited about it. I understand it. L'chol mida yes seichel miyuchad. Every emotion has a particular seichel. Kishem is beinin boy. When you meditate and reflect on that seichel, it arouses the midah to come into revealed state. So a person sometimes says, why isn't my midah more revealed? The answer is because you haven't done enough hisbonenus in the seichel of the midah. And the more you meditate upon it, you'll see you'll be moved in a way that you'll have the midah more observable and more livable. Ha'ava. So now he goes to the midos. Ha'ava bo mikeruv vayira mirichik. Ava, love. If you want to feel love, bo mikeruv, it comes from the sense of closeness. In other words, when you meditate that Hashem is close to you, and subsequently you're close to Hashem, that particular meditation, as we explained earlier, the details of the meditation will lead a person to kiruv, to closeness. Whereas when you meditate the yira on God's awesomeness, meirochik, that Hashem is in a way distant and is in a class for himself, that will cause yira, a fear, a reverence on your part towards Hashem. The Yazbir, the Hizbaininus, Chesed Hashem. And the Rebbe explained in this chapter that the Hizbaininus, the meditation, the reflection on Hashem's kindness that he does in Nishmas Yisrael with Jewish souls is a tremendous chesed, is a tremendous thought, and we have to realize the chesed that he's doing. Especially now, during these hard times, every person should engage in this because it's a tough times. So you have to find his bonus to bring out the chesed Hashem that he does in Nishmas Yisrael, uvekeruv hagodol the Torah mitzvahs, and he gives us an opportunity to become close to him through Torah mitzvahs. Ma'oiredes, this arouses ho'avo dveikus, a love and dveikus to Hashem. We're going to stop here, basically. Now, Shmuel, you're saying that tomorrow we should do the Zoom and not do the computer here?
I thought about it some more. There are some people already, like the Tzalel and that fellow here from once in a while. They use the Dream Central. I could just tell people to download the app, give them the password, and they can go through it on. You don't have to change anything.
Okay.
Should I continue to set up here?
But Shmuel, why if someone wants to come learn, he can't come by himself or two people to put the computer on?
Put the computer here as well, you see.
Yeah, it's not a good situation for me to try to live in at home.
Okay, all right, fine.
The shuls might not be open.
There's no...
Right now they are, so we can set up. So it's no contradiction, because they're here, people can also learn.
No problem.
You have to download the app or theRingCentral.com. There's an app to download. No, those are for Ring Central. And then I'll give you the password. I'll send everybody the password.
Very good.
Tell them which app to download.
Rabbi, have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day. Okay, tzlacha, bye. Hatzlacha, bye.